Good morning, good afternoon. We are live today with Andrew Lima and Kim White. Both of these people play really important roles in our day-to-day at Paid Memberships Pro. So we're excited to have them. I don't think I've had Andrew on an AMA with me yet. I've had him on about Zapier, I think, and some security stuff. And definitely Paystack.
Yeah, I think
I always get confused between Paystack and PayFast. I'm like, which one was it?
Not PayPal.
Not PayPal. No. But welcome. If you submitted a question prior to the AMA, let us know your name and I will try to find your question. We had quite a few really long ones. So I'm going to try to extract the main question from the whole scenario and only dive into the scenario if I really have to, just so I don't lose people. And if you have a question that you did not pre-submit, go ahead and throw it in the comments here. Klaus, I did see your question, so we can just go ahead and dive into that one first. Oh, it was the Lifter LMS. What and how are alternative placements of the sales buy box for Lifter LMS course? We were chatting about this before we went live, and I think it's going to be a Lifter LMS question.
Well, I'm looking at the page he gave us, and I'm assuming, is it the message on the bottom of the page, which is ours, which is require membership, which is in another language. So I'm assuming that's because if it's that one, we do our require membership does show up at the end of a post. A lot of content's being shown. So this is at the end of the page. He does have a sidebar, so he might want to consider some a custom shortcode that would show for non-members that would allow the purchase from up there. What else did we say?
There's another, you can obviously use code to manipulate your site any way you want. That's not always the best way to go, but one of the solutions that we don't chat about is you can use JavaScript or jQuery to just move the actual HTML elements at the beginning of the page, and you can get quite fun with the code, and you can say if they don't have a membership level and if the page is a required membership level page or it's a Lifter LMS post type, you only load the code and then move the block sign up to the very top. So that's one way of doing it. Another way we thought of for a no-code solution is to use the content visibility block. If you are using the block editor to control the content for your courses and lessons, you can kind of just put it in the excerpt, the very first paragraph, create a content block with Paid Memberships Pro, require membership level, whatever the relevant membership level is for that particular course or lesson. And then inside there, you can just in the block settings, you can show the no access message, which is that default message that is shown. And yeah, I don't even know if you would have to put an actual child block in the inner block for it to work. If you do, I would say just use a space bar, just a space in the text editor, so that loads if the content visibility block actually requires something in that. I actually haven't tested the content visibility block with nothing in it and trying to see if it loads or
to see if it works.
Nothing. Yeah, to see if it works. So those are, I guess, 2 to 3 options that you could look at.
Klaus says that kind of sounds complicated. Is there a recipe or something similar that they could throw in there?
Yeah, we could look at doing the JavaScript jQuery sort of solution. I don't think it would be a lot of code to actually load up. It's basically you're just I want all my content restriction messages to show at the top of every page. Or yeah, like I said, that no code solution is just to go into the actual content of the post and use the content visibility block, or even the membership shortcode. If you're not using the block editor, you can also show the no access message by just using the membership shortcode. There's an attribute you can use. So that's a no-coded solution that would definitely be a lot easier than writing a bit of jQuery and JavaScript to move things around on the page.
Does any of that change because of the Lifter LMS and PM Pro Streamline? Or does all of that remain the same, provided you're using the
I think
block
it would still be
editor for
treated
like
the
the content?
same. Yeah, I think it would still be treated the same. The Lifter LMS streamline mode is kind of to streamline the membership side of things that like Lifter LMS also provides, and LMS provides a membership feature. To like just hand it off to PM Pro. I don't think there's anything behind the scenes that is happening with the box and like the content messages and things like that, as far as that I'm aware of. But yeah, using the membership shortcode or the content visibility block, it's a mouthful, is a great like no-code solution. If that doesn't work, we can always explore the JavaScript workaround. One thing, like just a FYI for anyone doing JavaScript sort of tweaks and that, we do recommend it from time to time, but JavaScript can break. So if like another plugin's loading some sort of JavaScript and there's an error in that code, anything that loads after that error was run, nothing's going to run regarding the JavaScript. And that's, it's quite common for that to happen. And then like stuff starts breaking. So it's not like the most ideal. I would still say go content visibility block or the membership shortcode first.
Yep.
And then, yeah.
And I just tested that and it does work.
Oh, cool. With nothing inside.
Yeah, it worked with nothing inside, though. I would probably write a little message because you'll forget why it's there.
Add a comment or a
That is
note.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something like, you have access to this course, or
There's also like, just to speak of like, there's a whole bunch of content and the blocks being at the bottom. We don't load like the content restriction message in the excerpt. So if you set your excerpt to be like 1,000 characters or 2,000 characters, it's going to show like that, like, like a list of stuff before the no access message shows. So what you can do is kind of also just give less free excerpts before showing the required membership. So if you set it to one paragraph, it might just like fit the page better as well.
Yeah, the customization we have on the PM Pro site is an excerpt of, I think the default's like 300 words, but we use a read more block, and we have a customization that says anything after this read more block is where we like load our featured image. If it's a premium recipe, that's where you get the little snippet of what the recipe does, but everything else is behind that paywall, the content restriction. So
yeah, hopefully that helps, guys. Yeah, open a support ticket if you still struggle to get that working. We can take a look.
Canine Striker has a question. If there's any time, I love to hear about general suggestions about MailPoet add-on. I'm just playing around now, but having trouble with subscribe and unsubscribe not displaying on the user profile page.
Right. That's an Andrew question, because I helped sort of
Build that.
rework
Good.
this add-on. Yeah, so we got given this add-on from like a third-party developer, so we took it over to support MailPoet version 3 only, and not version 2. So I'm not sure if you are on the newer version of MailPoet, but that's just like a little FYI. Just double checking the functionality real quick.
yeah, I'm looking at my MailPoet site.
I mean, it should. Okay, wait, hold on. Just here. I think I'm just reading the question again. The subscribe, unsubscribe, not displaying on the user profile page. We only show the opt-in lists. We won't show like the default lists or MailChimp calls it audiences. So I always get confused, like what's the right terminology here, but the default lists are like when you select, if you purchase a premium membership level, you get automatically enrolled or like subscribe to the premium membership list. We'll only show the opt-in list because that's actually the only control that the member has to opt in and out, like from user inputs, and not on the membership level input. So I'm not sure if you have the opt-in list selected or not. You'd have to maybe just take a look and try to replicate that. Yeah, hopefully that helps.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the email integrations that we have.
with the email integrations, we do try to keep the functionality as close as possible across all the EMS like solutions. So OmniSend, MailChimp, MailPoet, things like that. We try to keep the functionality the same, but they obviously don't all work the same, so it's a little bit tricky. If those MailPoet lists aren't showing on the edit profile page, sometimes I've seen with other areas of PM Pro that like the user fields weren't showing in some cases, and that's like the email confirmation add-on is installed and they haven't confirmed the email. So like PM Pro says like, hey, they actually don't have a level, so it might not show up for whatever reason. Approvals add-on might like interfere with that, where it's also like, hey, you're not approved, so you don't technically under the hood you don't have a membership level, so that that might also interfere with that. It really depends on the site configuration, and we'll definitely take a look at MailPoet after this call and see if we can just replicate the issue.
They added, I set the segments to be visible in MailPoet settings if that matters, but it wasn't displaying with or without it checked in the list setup.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to take a look at MailPoet because we work with like quite a few solutions, and it's not like we've been sold on MailPoet, so it's just something we're gonna have to look into. I don't think I can give you like a straightforward answer on that one.
Yeah,
Did we have a session where we walked through MailPoet? I wonder if it was addressed on there. No, we haven't done that yet. Well, there we go.
We have not done an email integration open office hours, which might actually be a good idea.
Yeah.
For Q2, because Q1 is planned.
It's done.
I am done with Q1.
just to also answer K9 Striker, I think they said they kind of like exploring, playing around. Check out the OmniSend integration. That's something that we're looking into, and it does more than just email. It does like text, email, and I think there's a third one that they do like part of features. And I think their pricing is really good.
We did just add that to our site. Yeah. Let me get.
And they seem like a cool team. So that's just an alternative to MailPoet if you're in a bit of a pickle and trying to get up and running quite quickly.
Okay, so going through again, if you submitted a pre-submitted question, let me know your name, and I'll try to find it in our sheet. Otherwise, I'm going to be in the comments for the people who are actively here and answer the questions there. So Tanel just had a client purchase PagerSwift Pro, still trying to figure out how to customize the demo shows, specifically the directory part. I will tell you, a lot of customization went into that demo site by Kim Coleman. But Kim, do you have the our standard demo site, or Andrew?
I've got it. I can just pull it up real quick.
Yeah, just to show what the directory looks like. I can kind of go over a little bit of the customizations that were done, but I don't know everything that Kim has done.
Yeah. Also, it's running MemberLight, which is the theme that we use on our sites, and that's like Paid Memberships Pro specific designed, and it's got a few extra bells and whistles to make it look a little bit better than like your average site.
Could they also add specifically? I don't know if they're in whether it's the content that's being displayed or exactly how it looks, because those are two different things.
Correct. Yep.
Sorry, I just have to allow for my window. There we go.
They are using Beaver Builder, so that's going to be different. Andrew, are you ready for me to share it?
Yeah, if you can see it, okay. Just let me know if I need to zoom in at all.
I think you're good.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Oh.
Okay, cool. Okay, this is the Must Love Dogs demo. We can take a look at like what the code looks like, and this demo is available to download from our site.
You may need to zoom in for that shortcut. Yeah, just for that shortcut.
So even if you're using
Beaver
Builder, if you're using Beaver Builder, you still have to use this shortcode. There isn't a block that you can use. So this would be what you would be using.
And
we do actually. Sorry, I'm cutting.
I was going to say, Kim Coleman threw in the comments that we are actively updating the member directory add-on this quarter to match the other front-end PM Pro 3.1 plus styles. So this add-on is still in transition mode of upgrading the styles like we did for everything else.
Yeah. We do have a block if you are using the block editor for the member directory and the member profile page. I can copy the short code for you to know and just share it, or if you downloaded the demo site for like the WP or the InstaWP solution, you can always grab it from there. I can do a real quick demo. So if you just search /directory, you kind of get like a standard sort of static placeholder. So don't worry about what information is shown here. It gives you more options. So like you can say like, hey, I want it to be 4-column, and then it kind of matches what it'll look like on the front end. And then you can just like kind of pick and choose what sort of features you want on your directory. Like if you want to hide the email address, you just deselect it. If you want extra fields, you can add in like your user fields. You can change the sort by. You can add a custom CSS class to like the container element for custom CSS. So this basically just maps the short code, what we've got at this point in time, to just do almost like a drag and drop.
I could be wrong, but as far as like the profile picture being a circle on the front end, I'm pretty sure that was custom CSS that Kim added to the short code.
That's usually, I have people ask that, how do you make it a circle? It's just CSS on the avatar.
Yeah, it's this border. I need to zoom in.
I can't get mine to open, so.
Border radius 50%.
There's the directory.
Yeah. I know it looks daunting, but I just wanted to pull up the actual CSS real quick. And support is something this is something we can help with in the support channel. So you can just say like, I want to look like the demo site. So I need the help with the circle look. You can just pull it up if you need.
Yeah, I think it's image avatar, border radius 50% to get a circle.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. I will remove your screen, Andrew.
Okay. I'll just stay on the homepage just in case we need it.
Just in case we need it again. Okay. Going back to the comments. This is a question for me. Is there Black Friday deals? Yes, we will be running a Black Friday deal. So I would highly suggest you check your email settings if you are not subscribed to our emails to receive information about our sales. It will be the best deal of the year. I will not go into too many details because some of it is a secret surprise. But there will be deals, and we are also including some bonuses this year. So you're gonna want to definitely make sure you have your email set to get our emails about this. That's all I'll have to say about Black Friday.
And we don't even know. We don't even know. She knows. We don't know. You can't even ask us. I had somebody in support ask about it, and I'm like, I'm sure there's something. I don't know what it is.
I'm the gatekeeper.
Yep.
Okay, so yes, we will have Black Friday deal. Gavin from Sensible Senko, question on using nav menus and mega menus. Can you use these, or will it only work with the simple menus? I'm using Divi.
Is that making conditional menus for members? We're using our nav plugin. Is that what they're saying?
So
sorry.
Yeah,
I think that is what his question is. I believe he asked it in community, but I don't think anybody got back to him yet.
Okay. Again, a lot of these solutions are conditional in the like, what is the mega menu? Sort of like how they building it? Are they just using the default WordPress menu and adding styles to it? If so, then yes, it would work. Because an nav menu add-on, what it basically does is it just switches the like WordPress default navigation menu based on membership level in like wherever you set your menu locations in your theme.
But if you're building a custom menu in Divi in your header, say you're building a custom header, what I've done is I've created, say, I have two membership levels, and I have regular, and then I create those three. And then in Divi, you would assign it to what level gets it. So you wouldn't need our add-on to do that. And that's the same with Elementor. If you're building your own custom header with the menu, it's better to build it for each level that can see it. And there are settings for.
Gavin added, it's just built on top of the first level of the menu.
Yeah. I think it sounds like the nav menu should work in this case. Again, it just depends on this mega menu and how they kind of like designing the menu. And then just to come back onto what Kim was saying about the page builder editor and building it directly in your like template editor. If you're using a full site editing theme, you can just it's the block editor for your like header. You can just use the content visibility block. You won't need to use the nav menu add-on. So you just like add a menu and then you say level 1, 2, and 3 gets access to this menu, and then you add another content visibility block and you say level 4, 5, and 6 gets access to this menu, and then another one that says no non-members get access to this menu. So that's also a way of doing it if your page building and theme supports blocks, and if it has a native integration with PM Pro from our side on the element restriction and content restriction. Each build is called something different. So
yes, I never know if they're called a widget or a modal or model or
This is I think a kind of simple yes or no question. Elegant text solution. Can I use it for an alumni website?
Elegant text solution. Oh, that's the person asking. Or
Yes.
wait.
Yeah, that's the username. They want to know if they can use it for an alumni website.
You mean Paid Memberships Pro?
I would assume.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yes, that would.
Yeah.
I mean, depending on what you want, if you're looking for a social aspect, you might want to look at something like Buddy Press or Buddy Boss, or I guess some people use Usify. I don't know. But yeah, if you want to offer membership, with Paid Memberships Pro, it can be free levels with certain access. You can have paid levels with certain access. And we do work with a few of those social plugins to make restrictions. So say you have a message board from one, you can say, well, only premium members can see that. And maybe that's another thing. That's forums. That might be BB Edit. We have an integration with that too. Or BB Press, sorry. Oh,
I get them all.
BBs. Yes.
They're just bees.
Lots of bees. WPs, bees.
Maybe
yes. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I saw Kim Coleman said in the chat that Jason and her set up PM Pro for High School's Alumni Association. So definitely possible. I think if you want to know like what features you want to implement on that side, maybe just reach out to our contact page, like the sales team, and we can just kind of say like, yeah, that's possible. Like kind of dig into it a little bit with you and say, yeah, that is possible. And
we will absolutely do that.
Cool.
It will be me, Kim, or Ansi.
Yeah.
Maybe Andrew can speak to this one. Are there any improvement plans for the group add-on?
Oh yeah. Okay. So that's an interesting add-on. It's a really popular one. We kind of slow to implement new features on that, just because once you implement a feature, like with the technical difficulty of like, it's not an easy plugin from a code aspect. And those using sponsored members would obviously know, it was like quite a lengthy process to get set up. So we try to do like a lean version of sponsored members and make it, like the main features are what's supported. We do plan on adding new features. I think there's just no ETA at this point in time. And, we want to get a better understanding of how our customers are using the product. We don't want to just build features and see what sticks sort of thing. Because, once it's out there, it's not easy to reverse. Like we had on sponsored members creating child accounts on the checkout page. And that's something that's like really, really difficult to support and maintain. So there's a lot of like debt around that. And it's not something that we can just easily reverse once it's out. So I think just reach out if you're looking for a specific feature. We can always consider it with the dev team. And, we take each feature request seriously and we chat about it. And, maybe it's not the right time or at this point in time, or it's not something we'll do. We can always, find a developer that on our partners page that can help you with like a custom feature. So it's definitely extendable if the case is that we're not going to be building that particular feature. But yeah, we take every feature request seriously, and reach out. You can chat as a team about it. So it's hard to say.
Yeah. Our next question is from Brian, who did submit it in the pre-submitted questions. They're developing a website where a user obtains credits for the offered services based on their active membership level. The credits need to be reset to the number of credits associated with the membership level upon renewal of their subscription. Is there a way to reset the credits upon renewal? Is there a hook or an event that they can use? This is very
take this
much
one,
an
Kim,
Andrew
or-
question.
Yeah, this is
Okay,
an
I'll take it. All right. I guess it's the MA Andrew. It's all good. I don't mind. That's fine. Yeah. So we've got, well, we don't have the integration built, but MyCred has a PM Pro integration into PM Pro. So like when someone purchases a membership level, they get credits. It's a free integration from my understanding that I can see. It's on WordPress.org. And it says like award credits, points when someone purchases set points. I just want to see if they reset the points on a specific time. You might need like a pro version. I just know from previous experience in the customer support channel that I've seen people using this with some sort of success. I'm not sure if you'd have to like get another like pro version on theirs or anything like that. But MyCred would be your best like no code solution. We don't have a wallet system per se. Definitely is customizable, like partly user fields. You create a user field that only admins can see, and you set the default value to whatever 5 credits if they purchase a specific membership level. The only part is resetting that. So you'd probably have to have code that runs on like a daily basis to see if it's a new membership, a new month, and then like reset the user meta back to 5. And then you'd have to build a solution like if they click a button or view a page, it like deducts the credits in the back end. So it is a lot of work to build like a credit system. But yeah, maybe check out MyCred. It should automate a lot of that stuff. Just want to read the question if I'm missing anything.
Brian also threw in a comment that the PM Pro after change membership level hook might work.
So I don't think that hook's gonna run if it's an automated renewal, like a subscription. We do have
Because
hooks.
the membership level wouldn't change at that point.
Yeah, it doesn't actually
Yeah.
change. Like we just kind of say like don't do anything, just continue the subscription and membership. That would work on like your first time checkouts and your cancellations, or if they upgrade or downgrade. We do have a hook. I think it's like subscription payment successful or something like that, like PM Pro subscription payment successful, that runs on the gateway side, like the webhook. When the gateway runs the subscription and sends the webhook to PM Pro to like capture the order details there.
Is
So
that the
that's a
thing
good
that
one.
would make order successful? Like, would that be the same hook? Whatever, same order success.
That's a similar one. You could there is also a hook that you could use that you mentioned, Kim, where it's like if the status changed to successful, you can kind of see if it's like a recurring order and things like that, and then like reset the credits. That is one way of doing it. I think the only problem then is if you manually creating the order, like for whatever reason, it's going to just keep resetting the credits on that. So if you really need it on the order hook, like when an order is created or updated, that will be the better one. But if you just need it for subscription payments, it's the PM Pro successful payment, recurring payment, whatever that one is. I just got to find it. So I don't know the exact like what it's called off the top of my head. And then like as Brian mentioned, you can have the PM Pro off the change membership level if they're upgrading or downgrading. So you might have to catch it in a few places because like that subscription hook isn't going to run on the checkout if they change levels.
Right.
So yeah, those will be, you'll have to do it in like 2 or 3 places. But yeah, MyCred is a good example. Maybe like download their plugin and kind of see what hooks they're using if they are resetting credits and that, to give you a bit of an idea of how to do things. It's open source. So
There's PM Pro subscription payment completed.
yes, that's the one. That's on all the gateways for the recurring payments when it's successful. And then you get a failed one if you want to delete stuff. And yeah, there's a lot of moving parts.
That sounds good.
I think building a credit system like that would be interesting to do on an open office hours because we don't get asked about it often, but there is a handful of people that we do get asked about it, and we don't have any example of how it's done.
I think,
So that would be
sorry, the one that's like closest to a credit system is the limit post views, where you can give like X amount of free views if you don't have access to a post or content, and then it resets every month for that.
Oh, yeah.
So you could just kind of change. I don't know if that would work. Like if you want credits to just view content, then you can just use the limit post views.
But does that
you know,
limit
it
post
depends,
views was that fixed to? I thought that could change depending on your browser. Or did we update that?
No, I think I mean, I know that like
we're not really counting it. We're not like
little secret if you go in incognito browser.
Look, if you got like a new session and you got free views for non-members, you can get around it. We do support like giving whatever free registered members access to paid content, which I think tracks you a bit better because you have to be logged in to get the free credits.
Oh, right.
So that's a bit of a better way. Yeah. So we did try to fix that.
Now, how is credits different than Gamify or whatever, GamiPress?
GamiPress?
Those kind of things you're getting.
GamiPress is another one.
Kudos for doing things, right?
Yeah. So I think credits like GamiPress is getting points to show some sort of reward. Like if you spend $1,000, you get $10 back, like points like Starbucks and all these places, where credits is almost like you're paying up front for consuming data. So it's like I'm gonna buy
like Audible.
5 credits and and then I can consume 5 things like posts.
Like back in the day, you used to buy the minutes on your cell phone.
Yeah, we still get that.
Oh, you still have that?
You still get
that? Yeah.
We don't have it. I guess prepaid phones have that, but it's less.
Yep.
Okay, so our next question comes from Jay Brandon, which is also in the our document here. I will start off with there was a lot in the question. It was very loaded. Jay Brandon is pretty much asking about using Lifter LMS to sell courses, WooCommerce to handle the checkout because they also want to sell products, and then throwing Paid Memberships Pro in the mix. We talked a little bit before the live stream, and I also talked yesterday to a member from the Lifter LMS team as well, like behind the scenes. And I think simple is better. And as much as I want to say, yes, use Paid Memberships Pro, in this scenario, I think you're good with Lifter and Woo.
And also, but they have Buddy Boss. And that might be what they're looking at as far as the restrictions for membership levels. Because I don't think Lifter will do that in Buddy Boss with their memberships.
With that's definitely a component to think about. And the a la carte sort of solution, we've got that add-on packages, and like the new way of doing things is just allowing multiple memberships per user and creating a membership level per course. So people you just purchasing a membership level and getting access to that specific course. You don't have to set PM Pro up to give access to all your levels. You can say like level 1 only has access to course 1, and level 2 only has access to course 2. And then you toggle that in the level settings within the admin, and then they just got to check out for each like a la carte. I think the only downside is we don't actually do like a e-commerce sort of cart where you can add all your products in. But the way around that is to do like an all access plan, if you can call it that, where it's like membership level 10 gives you just access to all the courses. And then they only need that specific one. So,
and then if you set them up as levels, you can still sell them through Woo. So if it's level my book, you could still all go through
you
Woo.
Wouldn't
and then
actually
you
need
could
Woo in that case. So
well, they have Woo because they're selling products
already.
Also.
Okay.
And that's why. And I know I've seen an integration where somebody was using similar things, and they were using all the things to sell. They were using Woo, they were using LearnDash's board, and they wanted to use ours. And I think that's where they got into trouble. So part of this question was how can you, deciding like one gateway, or using only one of the plugins for payments. Don't use multiple ones. It's going to cause less problems.
that is a better user experience as well. And also,
Yes.
that's also my go-to. It's like you got to choose one or the other. Don't confuse your customer. Don't say like you can buy here and here. You know, like just focus. Like if you're selling other products through Woo and you got like physical products and you want to sell memberships, like don't even set up the PM Pro checkout page. You don't have to set up like the pricing, and that WooCommerce will handle everything. And just like build links that redirect to the WooCommerce relevant pages and like categorize your products as memberships.
Right,
then
and
it makes it a lot easier
Lifter has membership
as well.
capabilities as well. So you don't want to set up your membership levels in Lifter and in PM Pro.
Right.
You'd want to use the PM Pro side of things for membership levels. That way you get your content restriction in there.
And that's
So
when you go
there
in
is
and
some overlap.
streamline. And that's
And-
if you go and streamline, then it'll kind of turn off learned lifters.
Lifter, yeah.
More L's. Alliteration all over the place. Yeah, you would want to use the streamline mode, which we have a video on that. But we do have customers who are successful using all four of those things together, but it does take a lot of deciding.
What does what?
Sometimes people say, well, you said your plugin was compatible. Yes, but you have to switch off settings, and
Mhm.
it isn't like out of the box, because if you put all those four together, they're going to fight about who gets the account page, who gets this,
Yeah.
so it has to be thought out.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I'm scrolling back through our question. Okay, so Michael said something happened and the colors on my membership level comparison chart got messed up. They have no idea why. They want to know if there's a third-party plugin for building comparison tables that plays nice with PM Pro. So off the top of my head, I would say check the design settings. And I can pull up Andrew's screen if he wants to show where those are in case those got messed up.
We just get that.
But then also you could use our advanced level.
Unless they're using
Oh,
advanced
okay.
levels, because that's what
Yeah.
that's what you would build for a comparison chart. So I'm assuming that's what broke.
So we control styling now a little bit more than before. I think it was from version 3.1. So you get like the high contrast or minimal, which is like no CSS. You can kind of like have full reign on how you want to style it. So this adds like a cool drop shadow. This is kind of at default now. I'm sure everyone's kind of noticed that the checkout page has changed. Like that was like the biggest UI overhaul that was like that we touched in, so to speak, like where it's like these blocks now that are like really nicely designed. But something that's cool is if you go to your membership settings, design section, this is where the settings are, but you can actually like control the colors now. So if you want a dark mode site, you can, set the base color to black, the contrast to something else, white, the accent color to, let's make it maybe like a yellow. And that's kind of like a preview of what it will look like. So if that's, if you upgraded recently and like it looks like that for whatever reason, maybe just double check these settings to make sure that it's set up correctly. You can even like toggle between these without worrying that it would break. So this sort of styling that we've adopted now since 3.1, we bringing in like our add-ons to adopt the styling. So for example, the membership card, if you choose high contrast, we plan on like, we're going to load this sort of styling and make it in a block with like this cool little border. If you choose no styling, that's like what it would look like. So yeah, you have a bit of control over that. Another great way is just actually using like CSS to kind of force the look that you want. Sometimes
Right.
themes like Hijack or like Overtake or other plugins might even like touch it. We've got a lot of plugins integrating into PM Pro that's out of our control, and they might be using some sort of custom page template or anything like that, and they kind of handling that where we don't have the final say. So and then just to answer your question, if you are like going for the third party route, you can use like any page builder really, like Elementor, Beaver Builder, Divi, anything like that, to actually set up your product table. And then you just set the link to your actual checkout page. So it'll be like membership-checkout !PM Pro _ level equals whatever the level ID is. So that works quite nice. I think you only lose like the your level button that we do on our page, where it's like you can't.
That's
check
the only
out for the same
problem
level.
with having an outside one. I've seen a lot of
Yeah.
very attractive ones, but you do kind of lose that when anybody looks at it, they won't see which level.
Yeah, although like I think if you're building it with Elementor, again, you can just have 2 buttons in the back end, like in your builder, and then restrict it to non-members, and like anyone without this level, and then whoever has this level, just like disable the button and say your level. So that it just takes a bit of work. We do have a guide on our website that kind of dives into like how to set that up. I think using Elementor, if I remember correctly. So advanced levels, or use a page builder, or even the block editor. You can get by with that.
Yeah, and just real quick, Andrew, can you go to the levels settings page and just show where you can grab that link for your checkout? So if you go to the levels.
Okay, sorry.
The live page.
And then if you hover over yes to allow signups, you can copy that link, and that is your checkout link for the button you would need for your customized table.
I can't zoom in that link, but at the bottom, or you can just copy link address. Yeah. Right click and then
that's where you can find
address.
That link right there.
Cool.
Or you can copy the link on the page.
Or that
you're on the site.
On the page. Yeah. Normally what I do, I didn't even know about that, like allow signups link. So that's cool. Thanks for that tip. I would normally just go in the level and go like view at checkout, and then you get the link at the top.
There you go.
Because I'm more like in the settings and like, back and forth when you're developing and testing things.
View at checkout. I never saw that. Is that
a new button? I think I need to add that to my documentation. I didn't know that button was there.
Yeah. Okay. We're all learning something new.
Somebody make a note for me, please. Anybody on the team watching, make a note. I need to add this. While you're in the level settings, could you real quickly show where you would set an automatic recurring payment?
Oh, cool.
We have a question from Apex. That way members can pay without doing anything.
It's already pre-selected. So maybe your site, like your settings looks like this, where all the tabs are like closed. So you just want to go to your billing details. If you don't have the recurring option selected, it's going to just be a one-time charge. And if you don't have expiration settings, they're never going to expire. So that's almost like your lifetime deal setup. So what you want to do is just select this box, and then you got to set your amount. So it'll be, I want to charge $10 per month, day, week, or year. And then this will be an indefinite recurring subscription until the customer cancels or changes their membership level. Some people
no expiration date. No expiration
date unless you really know what you're doing. It's like some people think like I want to charge for 6 months, like $10 a month for the next 6 months. You want to use your billing cycle limits. That is where, if you set this to 6, it's going to say like, okay, we charge $10 now to check out. Then we're going to start counting like the recurring payments. So after a month, we charge $10. That's charge 1, and then it'll go on for 6 months. Then when the 6 months hits, the payment gateway just stops charging the customer, and they do not lose their membership level. In the event that you want them to lose their membership level after the six charges on the recurring subscription, you would want to set your expiration date, but it's very much like we normally don't recommend that. It's like don't do that.
It's for this rare case.
Yeah, it's like a rare case. Where
this is the one.
For most sites, of the time, you do not want those.
Right. Yeah. We do have a guide. If you do click it and you see this like scary warning, there is a like read the post there. It actually goes in really good detail that why you would want to do it and why you wouldn't want to do it, like we mentioned. It's just a checkbox, and you can start accepting subscriptions daily, weekly, monthly, or yearly. One thing that I do want to point out with like the subscriptions while we're on it, and I'm going to try and move quick because I know there's a lot of questions. Not all payment gateways support like daily subscriptions. So just double check, with your payment gateway provider that they do support like a daily or weekly subscription. Because some people will say like, I want to charge, every day, and then they get an error during checkout, and we find that it's the gateway doesn't support it. Like your bigger gateways like Stripe and PayPal and like those are the two main ones. They'll support daily subscriptions as far as I'm aware of. I know sometimes it's like region based where they won't allow it. So yeah, just double check those settings.
And then also, if you're creating a new level, you have I don't think that'll show up for you because pop-ups don't show, but there's a wizard and you have the option and it'll walk you through setting up.
You should see it. I was able to show it on one of my Coding with Sam's.
If you did
If Andrew goes to create a new level, you should be able to see the templates.
Oh, that template. Yeah, we do. We do.
Add new level. Yep.
So it does show. Okay.
Yeah, it does show. So I think about the setup wizard. That was like but that too. When you set up PM Pro for the first time, we've got this cool like paginated setup process that it really like walks you through like the main settings, and during that it'll show some settings like, hey, I want to accept payments on the site, and then it'll give you the option to create a paid membership level. And you can always come back to this level creation page, and these templates are like predefined, so you just change the values, and it will.
Maybe if we called annual subscription, maybe that would help people understand sometimes. Sometimes I'm a little confused, like annual and one time, because one time just means they have to manually renew.
Though.
Does it have it? Good. Yeah.
Underneath annual, it says charge a recurring annual subscription that never ends.
There we go.
And then one time says charge a one-time payment for a fixed period.
So you just have to read. So
you do.
I've never read it. I know what it means.
Yeah, but we live in this view, so
I know it's like
yeah.
Yeah, we live in it too much. Okay, so I may want to keep your screen up, Andrew, for this next question.
Yeah, sure. Just tell me where I gotta go.
MK is wondering, when can we expect more features in the user fields so that we don't have to manage user fields via code? For example, conditional rendering based on type of checkout or other fields. So conditional user fields.
Yeah, so we built a proof of concept of that like a month or two ago. Just to like bring it into the GUI. But we weren't really happy with like how the user fields are coded, like in terms of like, I don't want to get too technical, but like of like extending the fields and making it easier for developers. So we're like rebuilding a lot of the architecture and making it that much easier. So it should be out, like conditional fields should be like, maybe I don't want to like don't hold me to this, but like maybe Q1 of 2025 is like as early as like early next year. Because there is like if you go to GitHub, there is a proof of concept that you could actually start using now that will work with the current version of user fields. It might not work. So right now for like conditional loading of user fields, we've got the restrict fields for membership levels. This basically is like, hey, I want to show this group of fields for these particular levels. So like this group here called more information will show up for beginner, enhanced, professional, but not introductory. So that's like the only conditional logic we have now. You can also create multiple field groups and then say like, okay, for introductory, I want say like the position and years in operation only. So you'll just recreate these fields in this section down here. You'll name them the same and everything like that, and you can add in more fields. So that's showing a bit of a conditional loading based on the membership level for checkouts. But yeah, we don't currently have, if position is like CEO, show another field, for example. That's what I was talking about with that proof of concept that we've built. For now, you're going to have to just use the code for the conditional rendering in those cases. So yeah, it's in the works. It is in the works. That's something that's exciting. So,
it's something we all want.
Yeah, make it even easier. So
yeah.
All right. We have like 10-ish minutes left. Because I know it is almost dinner time for Andrew, and it's almost lunchtime for Kim and I. So we have about 10-ish minutes left. Before we keep going with our questions, the upcoming events that we have are going to be Coding with Sam on November 22nd, so next Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern. And then we will also have a open office hours Wednesday, November 27th. It's not our usual Thursday because the U.S. is celebrating Thanksgiving. So it'll be Wednesday the 27th. Kim Coleman will be back with me, and she's going to be talking about winning back members and re-engaging old members. So those are our upcoming events. And if you are in our Slack community or want to join our Slack community, we host exclusive events in that area as well. So you're going to want to join those to get those exclusive events. And like I said, I planned Q1 already. I have added more community events for Q1. So if you're not in there, you're going to definitely want to be in there. Okay, so back to questions. Now that my commercial's over. What can a possible solution be when someone subscribes to a course, but the course is still locked and they cannot take the course? It really depends on what course add-on you're using.
Yeah.
So for this one specifically, reach out to us on our contact page. Let us know what you're using, and we can help you a little bit more on that one.
Right. Yeah, course. Most of the course software, if you're using our plugin, after you buy it, the user should be enrolled. So if you've selected that. Some of the integrations are actually built by the courseware people and not by us. And they have a different way of handling things. So yeah, that's why we would need to know what it was. If it's our course add-on, which we have an add-on to offer a basic course, which is very helpful, they should just work because they're based on restricted content like the rest of our content.
Exactly.
So
yeah, so we just need to know a little more information on that one. We can't dive into there's just too many options.
It depends on the LMS, yeah. Because they also handle like the enrollment and that sometimes from their side and locking the course down. So definitely depends.
Webmaster, we have a membership site using grace period snippet. Emails to members are confusing. They receive expiry notification, membership ended, then expiring notifications again. What would the email control be to fix that?
So I think not the most ideal answer, but like reach out to support and I can try to take that question. I've got an idea of either like moving up the hook process. So it's like a right before expiry, before the like level changes, you can kind of like hot swap the dates for the grace period. Because I think on that snippet, it waits for the customer to expire, then adds like the grace period back. So that's why it's triggering the emails. So we added like the cancel next payment date logic into core now, and that's kind of like if the member next renewal is in a month's time and they cancel now, they still have access till that month, like till the next payment. And how we've like solved that issue of like not sending the wrong emails out is to just kind of like swap the dates almost like with a database query instead of like, running things. So I think we can kind of tweak that to make sure it doesn't send out the email unless they truly expired. So, yeah.
Awesome. I'm probably saying this wrong. Quinte Landlords. We would like to introduce an automation with PM Pro and our MailChimp so new members automatically get added to our email list and tagged as members. And when they expire, they get automatically tagged as previous members. Are there instructions somewhere of how to set up this kind of automation? I'm going to drop the link to our add-ons page that goes over how to make that happen. I like questions like that.
Yeah, just a quick one with the MailChimp add-on. We use audiences or lists more than just tagging within a list, but there is a guide that gives functionality to tag as well, I believe. I've seen it around. There's like a little code recipe. I'll share it with you, Sam, and then you can just do it in the chat. Sorry, I didn't want to try join the actual YouTube chat, but I believe it's this one. To segment like the MailChimp list. There's some code there. I think that's one that we recommend to do tagging. And then on the unsubscribe, it tags as well. It like removes them from that. Or you can even assign like a non-member audience list if you just want to move them to like a non-member list to segment them that way.
All right. Kind of jumping back to our WooCommerce Partnerships Pro conversation.
Cool.
Can you merge the Woo
Never
account page and the PM Pro one?
Yeah. So what I recommend is or set in the PM Pro page settings, set your account page to your WooCommerce account page link. And then what you can do, I think there's a plugin that does like the WooCommerce tabs for their account page. There's like a plugin that you can create custom tabs, and then all you got to do is add the PM Pro shortcodes in there. So you can like add the PM Pro account shortcode on the newly created tab. You can create the cancel link. You can, things like
you can add a custom tab you want with an endpoint. I know I personally use a Yith plugin on the site that I run.
Oh, cool.
And it's really nice. I can just add different endpoints and different priorities and change them around.
Yeah.
Woo has their own, but and then just use the Woo, because the Woo, it's easier to put us into the Woo than to put the Woo information onto ours.
Yeah, and also like WooCommerce is going to be handling your payments, like if you're selling your memberships through Woo, so it's better to have it on the Woo side. Because it can be a little bit confusing if it's like I'm seeing the PM Pro account page and it's saying like I didn't pay you, but you paid through WooCommerce. So good idea to put it all on one page.
Edgar has a statement. I think it requires a ticket. I tried to add a third-party payment gateway plugin, and when I activated it, I didn't see it at checkout.
I mean, contact us. We can just kind of hear what you got to say and like what payment gateway you're using, and we can try reach out to those developers and try provide them with some help and support. We sometimes do that, like if we find a bug in a third-party payment gateway, we might have their contacts like on file that we can just reach out and say like, hey, we getting reports of this bug or this issue. So also just contact the third-party gateway provider or the developer who ever built the gateway to see if they can help you. Yeah, it will just be quick if you reach out to them directly, but we're more than happy to help and try at least just see where the issue is and try to give you advice. So
Eastern Sierra, how can I separate my free level from my premium level on the page in the membership levels pricing table block? So I guess they don't want the free with their premium, with their paid.
Yeah.
So that goes back to creating a custom levels page. Now, if you want to show the free, but it's just separate, you can make your own page to do that level page link we shared. But if you don't want to show the free levels, there's a code you can use to show to do things like that.
Another way of doing it is using the content visibility block with the advanced levels add-on. So you can say like, if they don't have a level, show all my levels. If they have a free level, don't only show the paid level. And then if they have a paid level, don't show the free level.
Yeah.
And those will be like 3 blocks with the short codes in there. I'm not sure if you're on the call in the beginning when we went over that, but you can just check. We do have a guide on our website on how to do that to create a bit more of a dynamic sort of solution. And then if you're not using that, like you mentioned, there is a code recipe that we've got to filter out what level IDs are shown on the levels page. And you can make it conditional with code. So all possible.
Another question from Gavin, is a Divi 5 compatibility test in the works?
Divi 5? What?
Is that an Andrew question? Yeah.
Another Andrew question.
Yeah. So we are working hard at our page builder compatibility, and that includes some new page builders and new versions of page builders like Divi. I don't think Divi 5 is compatible at the moment. If I remember correctly, there was some chat about it not being compatible at this point in time, but it is in the works. We're trying to standardize our page builders across all the page builders to bring that great experience from the block editor. The block editor is almost the way we want to do things, with the content visibility. I'm sure anyone that's been with us through this journey of vision PM Pro 2.0 to where we are now with the block builder and how we try to innovate that and make it a whole lot better. It's definitely a step in the right direction, and there's a lot more flexibility to that, and that's something that we want to bring into are page builders, and while we're in that land of page builders and compatibility, we definitely going to be supporting Divi 5. Yeah, we just got to wrap our heads around the code.
Yeah.
Make sure we understand it. Yeah.
Back to recurring subscriptions real quick. Can a member renew his recurring subscription before it expires, so paying before the expiration date, but adding the period to the remaining one?
No. If you have a subscription, if the user were to check out again, it would just restart the subscription. If you have a subscription, a user shouldn't have to renew. They're automatically being charged.
There is no expiration date.
There's no expiration date. Yeah. So if you have one-time payment users, so if I signed up today, but the next year I renewed in April, it will add the time. But if you have a subscription already, for the same level.
Yeah. So it's more the case of if you're referring to a subscription as like a one-time payment with the expiration date and they have to manually renew their like subscription, then it would add on. But like Kim said, and Sam said, if you don't need an expiration date and for like an actual recurring subscription, because the gateway handles that, it just, X amount of days after they signed up, if you send it on a monthly basis, 1 month later from the date of sign up, they'll be billed whatever $10, whatever you're charging automatically. They just get to sit back, relax, and enjoy the content that you're providing them. So no action is needed in that case.
Perfect. I think I hear Kim's church bells in the background.
Do you hear those? Wow.
Very lightly, just a little.
They ring every hour on the hour from 9 to 9.
Which means that concludes our open office hours. If we did not get to your question and you submitted it by email, I will make sure that Kim White and I get those emails answered and we get back to you on those. If you had a question in the comments that we did not get to, either reach out to us on our contact page. If you're a premium member, open a premium support ticket or join our community and you can get your peers and the PM Pro team to point you in the right direction. You can join the Slack community by visiting paidmembershipspro.com/Slack. That is really hard to say. And I will see everybody on November 22nd for Coding with Sam at 9 a.m. Eastern. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Kim.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
It was fun.